Hi, I'm Rick Wright, St. John's Church parishioner, and I'm here with Malena Stone of P.A.C.K this morning. And I wanted to review with Malena exactly what is it that P.A.C.K does.
Okay, so P.A.C.K, we basically have three programs. Our biggest program is our food program, and that was the one that started at our house 9.5 years ago because I have three little boys, and you know, I found it really hard as a girl who grew up without a lot. You know, we grew up really poor, and we learned to help our neighbors from an early age. So when we had our own children, we were glad they weren't poor, but we found it really hard to teach them that there were other people in the world that had, you know, less than they had. And I really felt called by God to do a better job as a mom of teaching them to serve their neighbors and to love other people and just to be aware of needs in the community.
Okay.
So the feeding program started at our kitchen table, 50 bags a week. We would take them to a local school.
And who is helping you do that?
The kids.
Just the kids?
Just the kids. And from a really early age, you know, we were poor, but we always had enough. God always provided, we had enough. The kids that we saw when we would take the bags to the school were not like that. You know, you really, in a lot of ways, in some of our schools, feel like you're on a mission trip in a third world country.
Okay.
We actually have 33 Title I schools here.
And tell me briefly
Well,
what a Title I school is.
so legally, a Title I school has to be below the 40th percentile. Like 40% of the kids have to live below the poverty level. But in Chatham County, most of our Title I schools, the kids are 98% below the poverty level.
Wow.
And so you'll have entire schools, it might be a beautiful brand new school building, but the children in it are very poor.
What else do you do besides food?
Okay, so besides the food bags, and right now we're handing out about 4,200 bags a week to 37 schools. But when we really got to know the kids, we wanted to do more for them. So we started seeing what their needs were and trying to meet some of those needs and kind of looking for patterns of what it was that was causing, you know, some of these issues.
Okay.
And one common factor is that, you know, we have a lot of foster children in Savannah, a lot of CASA children who have a court advocate because they don't have an adult who is responsible for them.
Okay.
So the P.A.C.K boutique came out of that.
Okay.
And
Back here behind us, yes.
behind us. And right now the P.A.C boutique serves 85 children in foster care. And they come every 3 months until they're 18. And the same kids. And a really special thing about it is that they get a personal shopper, so they really get to develop a relationship with a mentor and somebody that's going to encourage them to do well in school.
Right.
You know, all of those kinds of things.
Now, Malena, one of the questions I get, and I think it's just a naive question. It's not really out of a fact base, but and I've had this question myself. I think it was the first question I ever asked you, which is, gee, we've got all these social programs, right? We had the war on poverty, which started in the 60s. They don't do this. They don't provide food. They don't provide clothing for children in need.
No. In a perfect world, you would have, you know, families receiving services, children benefiting from all of those. That's not what we see happen. Without, you know, having to give a Bible lesson to a child, when you take the best that you have and you put it in front of them, they know that it's from God.
Told me this is Friday, and for the last 2 weeks, Monday a week ago, you've had 56 emergencies in Chatham County.
Yes.
Where people have come in. Can you talk a little bit about this and what this room is all about? And you call this the emergency cottage.
Yes, yes. So the emergency program that we have kind of started out of necessity because in Chatham County right now, we're the only emergency provider for children.
Only?
The only emergency provider.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is...
And what services are you providing?
Okay, so we have shelters and we have really good programs
in Chatham County.
in Chatham
Yes,
County.
okay.
but they don't have resources to provide clothing, toiletries, school supplies to children in need.
Okay.
And so we partner with all of those agencies to provide items that they need to children who are homeless, children who have had a house fire,
Okay.
children who have been found in human trafficking, children going into foster care in the middle of the night. And these are basically children who are in crisis. They have nothing.
So you're saying there were 56 occasions where that,
57 as of this morning, yes.
okay, 57, let's get the updated number. 57 occasions where a child had no, these are clothes, school supplies, toiletries, I see, right?
Toiletries.
And that for one of those reasons, human trafficking, fire, their homeless situation. Now, who contacts you?
Well, we have contacts at each one of those other
The agencies?
nonprofits.
Okay.
Park Place,
Okay.
Greenbrier,
Okay.
Lady Magdalene.
So the services that are provided by Chatham County
Right,
are aware of your programs, and that you're the only one that's doing this.
right. And because they've all seen an increase during COVID of the number of children who are coming into foster care, the number of children who are going to live at shelters. We've had, there's 128 refugees from Afghanistan that were brought by the military 6 weeks ago
To Chatham County?
to Chatham County.
Okay. And how many was that?
I'm not sure the
Okay.
exact number, but it's roughly
Hundreds?
130.
Okay,
But
around 100,
we
yeah.
don't help the adults because we focus on the children.
Sure.
But
You tell me this, repeat the story for me about the child in combat boots. How old was she?
so these children have been here for about 6 weeks, and they have one outfit, no washer and dryer.
Okay.
And so these moms, through an interpreter, are telling us that, they are having to undress the children, wash their clothes, and wait for them to air dry because they literally own one outfit.
Okay.
And and also, like, a lot of the children, when they were brought over, didn't have shoes, so they were given military boots because it's cold there.
Sure.
And so because of that, they have no socks.
Okay.
And we had an 18-month-old little girl in a pair of military-style boots with no socks.
Wow.
And so this is what we're seeing. They've seen an 80% rise in homeless students over the past 2 years.
Mm.
And we have an elementary school that goes up to 3rd grade that had over 25 homeless students last year. They're
Wow.
living in hotels and other places. So literally, they have nothing.
Well, thank you for the time today, but most importantly, thanks for reminding us that there are an awful lot of need in our county that we don't see every day, we don't know about, and I encourage you to get involved with P.A.C.K. so that you can learn some of these stories and also soften our hearts a little bit so that we can help be the hands and feet and donators of things for God's work here in Chatham County. Thanks again, Malena.
Thank you for helping.